The hot mic scandal. Inside the courtroom collapse of the decade. There is a narrative unfolding behind the scenes that the mainstream media hasn't fully captured. It involves a forgotten microphone, a private conversation that was never intended for public ears, and a judge who dismantled an entire trial the second he realized the scale of the betrayal. Judge Caldwell didn't resort to shouting or dramatic gavel-pounding. Instead, he employed a far more chilling tactic: absolute silence. Then, in a move that stunned everyone present, he ordered U.S. Marshals to seize the defense team's laptops right there in front of the jury and rolling cameras. In an instant, the defense attorneys looked like people watching their entire careers disintegrate in real time. What was hidden on those devices? What did that recording reveal? And why has a wall of silence suddenly surrounded everyone involved? After analyzing the footage dozens of times, a clearer, more sinister picture begins to emerge. The technical glitch that exposed a conspiracy. The trial was already a powder keg, a high-stakes fraud case involving millions of dollars and powerful figures with everything to lose. For 3 months, Judge Caldwell had presided over a defense team that seemed suspiciously telepathic, anticipating every move the prosecution made with supernatural precision. The turning point came at 10:47 a.m. on a Tuesday in Courtroom 4B. During a routine 15-minute recess, the courtroom's audio system, installed for federal compliance, remained active due to a technical anomaly. While the prosecution was busy with notes and the jury was out, the defense huddled to whisper. They assumed they were safe. They were wrong. The microphone captured the lead attorney, Mr. Harrison, confirming that a witness had been handled. Then, an unidentified voice, not part of the legal team, was heard saying, "She'll say what we told her to say. Just make sure the judge doesn't find out about the contact." The conversation ended with a phrase that would seal their fate. Caldwell won't know until it's too late. The judicial nuclear strike. Within minutes, the recording reached Judge Caldwell's chambers. When he returned to the bench, his expression was a mask of terrifying neutrality. He didn't look at the gallery. He looked only at Mr. Harrison. "Please remain seated," he commanded. When Harrison attempted to rise and object, Caldwell snapped, "I said remain seated." What followed was the judicial equivalent of a nuclear strike. Marshals moved in, bagging laptops, phones, and tablets as evidence. Caldwell didn't just seize property. He suspended the trial, barred the defense from contacting their client or witnesses, and announced that charges of obstruction of justice and witness tampering were being evaluated. The legal war, heroism versus overreach. The fallout has divided the legal community. Advocacy groups, including the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers, have condemned the move as a dangerous overreach, arguing that seizing privileged materials without a warrant sets a terrifying precedent. They ask, was the recording even legal? Does a glitch justify bypassing the Fourth Amendment? However, proponents of the judge's actions point to the crime-fraud exception. This legal principle dictates that attorney-client privilege evaporates the moment communications are used to further a criminal act. If Harrison was indeed coordinating perjured testimony, his laptop was no longer a privileged tool. It was a crime scene, a pattern of suspicion. This explosion didn't happen in a vacuum. Weeks earlier, a key witness named Maria Delgado had suddenly sanitized her devastating testimony. The prosecution had flagged the shift as suspicious, but without proof, Caldwell's hands were tied. The hot mic provided the evidence he had been waiting for. The aftermath has been chaotic. Following the seizure, Mr. Harrison held a defiant press conference, accusing the judge of judicial tyranny. This move backfired spectacularly, as analysts viewed it as an attempt to intimidate the court. Since then, threats against Judge Caldwell have escalated, forcing his family into hiding under 24-hour federal protection. The unanswered question: who was the third voice? The most disturbing element remains the unidentified voice on the tape. Whispers from the investigation suggest that voice analysis matches a member of federal law enforcement. This implies the corruption wasn't limited to a single defense team, but reached into the very agencies meant to uphold the law. Currently, the trial remains in limbo, and the defense firm has essentially ceased to exist. As the FBI's Public Corruption Unit meticulously combs through the seized data, One thing is certain: Judge Caldwell has bet his legacy on this move. If the devices prove a conspiracy, he is a hero of justice. If they don't, he may have caused the greatest mistrial in modern history. The implications of this case extend far beyond one courtroom. It challenges the very nature of privacy and the limits of judicial power. What do you believe? Was Judge Caldwell protecting the integrity of the law, or did he cross a line that can never be uncrossed?